Hey guys, what's up? It's Heaven. Today is Sunday, and that means it is time for another episode of Ask Heaven, where you guys ask me questions and I promise to answer them completely honestly every Sunday. So let's get started. Cookie wants to know, how cold was it in the Arctic? Well, I was not actually in the Arctic. I was in the Antarctic. Arctic is in the north, Antarctic is in the south. But I was there during the summertime. I went at the end of December, sort of beginning of January. And it was actually warmer there than it was here in New York. So I would say on average, it was in the low to mid 30s, probably around 32, 34 degrees. When I came back to New York, it was like 16 degrees. So definitely warmer down there. Pure Hollow wants to know, what is your favorite place you want to visit again and why? There are so many amazing places that I would want to visit again. Antarctica is definitely at the top of my list. But I would say of all the places I've ever traveled, my favorite place is probably still Cuba. When I was there, it just felt so colorful and the streets were alive and there was just such good music in the streets and the food smelled so good and everybody there is really friendly. It's super safe. There's all kinds of salsa dancing and I just enjoyed it so much. In fact, when I went to Cuba, I ended up going twice in the span of like 3 weeks. Unfortunately, there's a travel restriction, so US citizens can't go there unless it's part of an organized tour group now, which kind of sucks. But if that ever gets lifted, then I would definitely go back to Cuba immediately. Jack wants to know, if you could speak fluently in one language, what language would it be and why? English. Probably Spanish. I used to be pretty good at Spanish when I was in high school and college. I took it all throughout high school and then I took it for a year in college and then I kind of let it go. But I feel like I used to be pretty close to fluent. Unfortunately, it's one of those things where if you don't use it, you lose it. And with so many people here in the US speaking Spanish and so many countries in Central and South America speaking Spanish, I really wish that I was better at it so that I could communicate even better when I'm traveling abroad. Brian Johnson wants to know, are you good at math? Does 2 + 2 = 5? Obviously. In all seriousness, I'm just okay at math. I did get, A's in math when I was in high school and college, but I did have to work really hard at it. It's not a subject that comes naturally to me, but like anything else, I just work extra hard at it to make sure that I get there. James wants to know, you are handed a button that when pressed will give you a single wish that must be possible to fulfill within the boundaries of human technology. Not by magic, so it has to be a practical wish. Wow, this is getting really specific. But if you press it, a random stranger dies immediately. Do you press it? I feel like I've heard this question before, and I think there's even a movie about it called The Box or something. I think it has Cameron Diaz in it, where it's like, if you push the button, someone dies, but then I think that random someone ends up being somebody that you know. I don't think that I could do it. I would love to have a free wish. Who wouldn't, right? But I cannot, in good consciousness, be responsible for taking another human life. Sometimes I would sort of like to, but I don't think that I could actually do it. So no, I couldn't push the button. James wants to know, is a hot dog a taco? What? Are you serious? No, absolutely not. I'm pretty sure that to be a taco, you need like some sort of tortilla, whether that's corn or flour. Maybe if you put the hot dog meat on the tortilla, it could be considered a taco. Yikes, but no, a hot dog in and of itself is not a taco. It's a hot dog bun. Come on. Brian wants to know how I came up with my name. So I get this question a lot when I'm streaming, and usually what I do at this point is I just have my moderators tell the story because everybody has heard it so much. But for anyone that doesn't know the story, when I originally got out of a breakup a couple years ago, I moved out of the place that we had together and I moved in by myself, and I left the Xbox that I had with him. I got a PlayStation because I decided that everything that I had needed to be completely different and opposite and whatever. So I got the PlayStation and I sat for a couple days kind of thinking about what I wanted my name to be. The Heaven piece came because my name when I was born was actually Heaven for a few days. My mom named me Heaven Nicole, and my grandmother told my mom, like, you can't name that child that, she'll end up being a stripper. And so my mom, desperate to not have a daughter that grew up to be a stripper, changed it to Heather Marie instead. And then the last crush portion was because, you know, being recently out of that breakup, I was just like, oh man, like I'm so tired of failed relationships, and I just want my next crush to be my last crush. And I felt like within the video game world, this had this nice double entendre where it could be a crush romantically, or it could be a crush like, I'm gonna knock you out sort of thing. And I play a lot of first-person shooters, so it worked out. But yeah, that's how I ended up with Heaven's Last Crush. Emma says, hi, Vicky, I love your streams. I wanted to ask, how tall are you? Hey, Gemma, what's up? I am 5'3" and 3/4. And for all of you out there that say that the 3/4 do not count, they definitely do, because I am not quite 5'4", though I desperately sometimes wish I was. Red wants to know, what would be your ideal vacation? I really wish that I could just travel the world continuously without stopping and sort of visit all of the different places and areas, some of which I've been to, some of which I haven't, and sort of create content. And I know that content creation is still a bit of a job, but it doesn't feel like work. But it's what I'm passionate about, and that's what I would want to do. I would want to go all over Central and South America, Europe, Asia. I'd go back to Australia and New Zealand. I'd go back to Antarctica again, just really wherever I could go. But ideal vacation, one that's endless. Oh, and one that's sponsored. That would be ideal as well. Malik wants to know, if you weren't doing Twitch, what would you be doing? What would I be doing? Sleeping more, having better mental health, eating properly, going to the gym a lot more, actually having a life outside of streaming. No, I'm just kidding. If I weren't streaming on Twitch, I'd probably end up creating a whole lot more content on YouTube, and I'd probably be doing other forms of content creation. I'm not sure the medium, whether I'd be trying it on like a Facebook Live or a Mixer, or working with some other sort of platforms that are up and coming like TikTok. But ever since I sort of landed in this world of content creation, it's something that I very much enjoy. I think it's a lot of fun, and it's so cool to see your guys' reaction to things. So it would still be something in this world, just not with Twitch. James asks a Charles Dickens length novel of a question that reads, oh, would you take a one-way ticket to Mars to be the first of humankind to set foot on it? You could never return, but could survive there in a biosphere thing for your natural life alone. Do you take the trip? Bonus, you can bring one person with you. Who? I thought we set foot on Mars already. Did we not set foot on Mars? I thought we did. I'll have to look this up later. I think it'd be awesome to be one of the first person on Mars, and so something like that sounds awesome. I don't think that I would go by myself. If I could bring somebody with me, yes. I don't know who exactly I would bring. Maybe you. You want to come? Maybe. I don't think I could do it alone. I think that part of the allure of being one of the first people on Mars is sort of the recognition and the history that would come with it. I mean, people would know who you are kind of forever. And so there's something that is, or would be really cool about that. But I think there's other ways that I can make history right here on planet Earth and still have pretty basic human contact and eat pizza whenever I want. Superman Dude asks, milk or cereal first? What kind of monster put milk in before cereal? I feel like that would just make an entire mess. You put the milk in and then you put the cereal in and it would just splash all over the place, and then you'd have to clean up, and nobody has time for that. For me, and for normal, sane human people, cereal definitely goes first. Then you pour the milk on there. It's like the sauce for the cereal. It's good. Dang, now I kind of want cereal. Thanks, Super. Miss Alley Cat asks, what's something a lot of us don't know about you? Sometimes when I'm streaming, I seem like a huge ditz because I actually don't know a whole lot about computers or technology or software or hardware or processing or even how to set up my stream. But despite all of those impressions, I actually am extremely academic and very studious. I graduated summa cum laude at the top of my class when I graduated university, and I even got to give my class graduation speech, which was very exciting. I remember being a little girl and seeing Legally Blonde, and you know how Elle Woods gives her class speech at the end of law school. Ever since I saw that movie, I said that when I grew up, I wanted to give my class speech as well. And so I did that during my 6th grade graduation, and then I did it again during college graduation. So we made that one happen. James wants to know, make barely enough money to live on but love what you do, or make more money than you objectively need but sacrifice passion and work for it. Why? This is such a tough question for me because I feel like a huge hypocrite. My heart says, and what I would always encourage people to do, is find something that you're passionate about and do that thing, because money is no object. You can't take it with you. Money can't buy happiness. All of those sort of cliched things. And if you find passion in your work, then you're going to feel great about doing it. And I don't think that you're going to realize that the money piece is sort of missing, because you're just going to be fulfilled in those other aspects. But money is extremely comfortable. And so it affords you opportunities to go places and to see things and to do things that you might have areas of passion outside of your work. This is sort of where I am. I'm not particularly passionate about my main day job right now. I like it and I'm good at it, and there are definitely times in my life when I have been passionate about it, but right now I'm just way more passionate about something else, but it is a lucrative career. So I think it's really tough. I am trying to make great strides to get myself to be at a point where I can do things that I am passionate about. I would encourage others to go that route as well, but I can completely understand how that would be uncomfortable, and it's not always realistic. But I think as long as everyone strives to do that former option of really trying to find a career in something you're passionate about, I think you'll be happier there. All right, guys, that's all for this week's episode of Ask Heaven. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me and for submitting all of your questions. If you want to have a question answered in future episodes, be sure to tweet me at Heaven's Crush on Twitter or leave it in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this content, be sure to hit like as well as smash that subscribe button. And until I see you guys next time, keep crushing it. Bye, guys.